This issue has risen to such a level that we can no longer wait. Our community is demanding action on our part as trustees. We are elected officials here to represent the voice of our people. Unfortunately, I have been out of the country for the last week and I have been watching this issue unfold from afar, feeling helpless. Thankfully, I was able to make changes to my plans and flew in this morning, or right before this meeting, so I could attend this meeting. I feel it is critical that this board act immediately. I understand that there is a 6-day notice requirement in order to schedule a board meeting. I am also aware that with the majority vote of the board today, we can schedule a meeting to be held next Thursday. Therefore, I am going to make a motion that the board vote today to schedule a meeting next Thursday, April 30th, 2015, for the purpose of reconsidering and holding a vote regarding the position OHA took in 2009 on the 30-meter telescope project.
I second.
I just consulted with our board attorney and he says it's okay for us to make a decision. I'm willing to move it to the 30th from
Thank you, Chair.
May 7th. And I'm hoping that we can have all of our board members present.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, I know this is not going to be met with much joy. Let me present a perspective. Should the board vote to reject the TMT in the short time frame, we will be doing so absent a lot of information that is now in play that provides OHA the opportunity to do a lot of brokering. So even if in the end we decide to support or reject, I believe we need to stay at the table for as long as we possibly can, rather than run the risk of leaving the field of play and letting the other people make all the decisions. I believe we will be absent a lot of really critical information that is in play in order that we're able to make informed, thoughtful decision-making on yay or nay.
Thank you, Trustee Opio. Dan?
Thank you, Chair and trustees. My trip to New Zealand was awesome. Many have shared. I feel like I'm still in New Zealand because people know about our Mauna. The Mauna is surrounding our Mauna. And I saw the science behind the Mauna Hokulea there. And I was told a story that I would like to share with all of you. Hokulea is voyaging, but it's like it's standing still. What's in the back is the past. What's in the front is the horizon, is our future. There's signs, there's symptoms that come to the canoe that causes us to steer in the direction of the prize or the horizon or wherever you have to go. Everything is coming towards us. There's signs, there's symptoms all around us. How do you negotiate without a stance? That is a recipe for disaster.
Trustee Opio?
First of all, I want to acknowledge all the people in this room who are opposed to the TMT and the opportunity that you have provided us to get a seat at the table that is as high profile and as powerful as we can possibly ever get to renegotiate the entire public land trust. That is what is at stake here. Now, it's very difficult to deny our passion, to scream and to release and to get it over with. But I really don't believe that that would be in the best interest of the Hawaiian people for us to walk away from an opportunity that may never come again to restructure the entire Mauna Kea plan, to restructure and to revisit the public land trust as provided for in the Admissions Act and the responsibility that the state has to us. It is about more than just a telescope. It's about the entire public land trust. This is the window. it's probably, the opportunity is probably never going to come again for a long time. So that's, I mean, I rest my case with that.
Thank you, Trustee Apo. Trustee Akana?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Um, you know, it's a very emotional issue for all of us, and in particular for me. Um, I think that what has happened with the outcry of our people is that for many years we've had to be silent about a lot of things that occur around us, and we have no opportunity to do anything about it. And even when public hearings are held, our voices are not heard. And I think finally, when this telescope thing happened, it gave Hawaiians an opportunity to rally around something. In other words, to say, you know what, enough, and we have a voice, and you have to listen to us. So I think it's been a very good thing that has happened. Whether or not the board decides to rescind, to me, if the board rescinded its position on the site, it's kind of a moot issue. I think our vote would be a symbolic one because it's already happened. But it would be symbolic. It would show our people that we hear. And that for me is what is important. The fact that we could do anything about it would give false hope if we promised big things. What I can promise is that we're going to work very hard to make sure that all of the safeties are in place, that the university and the legislature and this administration stick to their word. And as Peter said, we are the people of this land, and the land belongs to us. We are keepers. So it is our job to be an advocate, and that's what our role should be. We can only do what we can do. But I think the bigger promise is to our people is that we support them, and we will do everything we can in the future to make sure this kind of thing does not happen again. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Trustee Akana. Trustee Ahuna, then Kapohana.
Just some closing comments. We always talk about our future, how we want to provide for our keiki. But we got to talk about the now. Before, we didn't have as many people that have these credentials. We have people with PhDs, masters nowadays. Back then, we didn't have it. And now is the time to stand with the people. They're here. There's not going to be too many windows. Take the stand. Don't be afraid. Stand.
Yes.
Just reminding the board that there was a motion to move the meeting from May 7th to next week, the 30th. It was seconded, so just to keep them, if whether or not there is the vote.
Trustee Lindsay?
Oh, you don't need a motion.
I need a motion.
Oh, okay, so here, okay, my apology, Chair.
Before we heed to you, Chair, I just want to say that, you know, this Opio that's on our Mauna, they're different. They're just not like we have been for the last 50 years, screaming and yelling and people just ignoring us. This Opio, they're smart. They are operating in a very humble way. And I believe they're getting the attention of the people that make the decisions. So it's really important that we respect them, respect their movement, and support them. Mahalo.
Thank you, Trustee Lindsay. Anything further, Sterling and Jocelyn? We have folks on both sides of the issue. You know, this matter is dividing our house. All I want, Pohana, from you as our CEO is total and full assurance that by bringing this matter back on April 30th rather than May 7th, that your staff and yourself will totally immerse yourselves in this issue so that we can have a very balanced and complete report to present to our table here so that our folks can make an informed decision. So my decision is we bring the matter back to the table on the 30th of April.
And Chair, you do, we have already been talking and processing. What we've been providing you is more of the process, the documents as a review regarding DOLNR, BOLNR actions. I think as we move forward, we have to really synthesize the different issues for the pros and cons on the both sides.
Yes.
And that's the
exactly.
free and full discussion that we'll have next week.
And that's all I'm asking.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mahalo.